Hajj, this is the pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca, which every Muslim who is physically and financially able is required to perform at least once in their lifetime. It represents unity, equality, and devotion to Allah. Now, let's focus on Ramadan that was just over 4 days ago. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, and it holds immense spiritual significance for Muslims around the world. During Ramadan, Muslims fast from dawn until sunset, refraining from food, drink, smoking, and other physical needs. But Ramadan is not just about abstaining from worldly desires. It is a time for spiritual reflection, self-improvement, and increased devotion to Allah. It is a month of prayer, recitation of the Quran, and acts of charity. It is a time for Muslims to strengthen their relationship with Allah, seek forgiveness for past sins, and strive to become better individuals. Ramadan also fosters a sense of community and solidarity among Muslims. The breaking of the fast, known as iftar, is often done with family, friends, and members of the community, emphasizing the importance of compassion, hospitality, and unity. As Unitarian Universalists, we can appreciate the values embodied in the 5 pillars of Islam, in the significance of Ramadan. Let us embrace the spirit of inclusivity, understanding, and respect to all faith traditions, recognizing the common humanity that unites us all. Now, from my own reflection as growing up as a Muslim child, that I was born to a Muslim family in Kandahar, Afghanistan. In Kandahar, Afghanistan, I practiced the Islamic religion until I was 22 years old. I learned a lot about sharing, sisterhood, brotherhood, and all the great pillars and requirements of my Muslim religion. The only thing that I did not agree as a woman, I think I was always in my heart and my soul born feminist. And I could not agree, even though 20 generations of my great-grandfathers were all imams, clergymen, and ministers of the faith of Islam. And I always questioned, how come 2 women are equal to 1 man in the court of justice? And everybody would give me some kind of story, you know, well, women get their periods, women are, you know, it's just like in the Jewish religion. I don't know if that's also true in the Christianity. Well, women get their periods, they are not clean, they don't have the sense of, you know, togetherness. Well, there were always some kind of reasons. And I could not agree with that, because I saw through the education of my very progressive Islamic leader, which was my dad. Although in Kandahar, Afghanistan, he was the mayor, he was the president of Chamber of Commerce, he was politically very involved. But when he came to the United States, all the Muslim people from Afghanistan, Pakistan, and some of the Arab world, you know, gathered around him and said, "You are our Imam. We want you to lead us," because of the background he had. He had been educated in Al-Azhar, which is in Egypt, the university, and he became the Imam for 25 years in Flushing, New York. He practiced as an Imam, the Islamic religion. But his progressiveness was, I was the only granddaughter of my grandfather that had 28 granddaughters. They were all home educated, home tutored, because they thought, they meaning the community in Kandahar, Afghanistan, that if you send your daughter to secular school, her eyes would open and she will learn the devil ways, which is secular education to them. Well, my dad, when I was 4.5 years old, took the liberty upon himself and enrolled me in kindergarten in Kandahar. The community turned against him. His brothers turned against him and said, how could you do such a thing? You know, you're not a good Muslim. He accepted all of that, but he gave me the opportunity that I'm standing now today in front of you and talking about Islam and also Unitarian Universalism. And I was very, very fortunate that my congregation, the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Shelter Rock, honored my dad and invited him twice to the congregation to give a sermon. Once Dad and I together, and once he himself after September 11 that condemned the act of terrorists on our buildings in New York City. So I did say, I loved Islam. I grew up in a wonderful religion. I learned a lot of good things about Islam, but the unfortunate thing was a women's rights issue, which I have even asked very well-versed professors from Harvard that Dr. Barry Andrews, our minister, invited to our congregation about what's the issue with 2 women equal to 1 man. It's a very gray area. There is no answer to that. But Prophet Muhammad, when I read about the Quran with meaning and also the Hadith, he was 25 years old and he gave a chance to a woman who was 45 years old, his first wife, Bibi Khadija, and married her and learned from her about trades, about business. She was a big businesswoman, and respected his daughter Fatima to the core, that it was always equal. He had women on his, we call it shura, on his council. He believed in all women's rights as equal as men. But what happens is the history describes it as time goes by and Prophet Muhammad passes and then his 4 Khalifas passes, then things change and the men take over and they put a different twist on Islam, and women are submissive and men are the one who rules the religion. So that's what it is in short. So with that said, if you have any questions, I'm here for you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I thank the Reverend Kathy, Ricky, and all of you for having me at your congregation today. This has been an honor and it's a privilege, and I do appreciate the opportunity, and have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you very much.